And welcome back to part two of What If Naruto Went Back in Time with His Memories. Pumpkin is very happy to have you here too, as he's now going to disappear. Um, so just to just to not address, but cover a few things that got brought up. It got brought up about the whole age difference. Like he's an adult in his mind, but a kid in his body. So like I will fully admit though, him and Hinata are not going to start dating for a little while. He loves it. He's in love with his wife, obviously, and like even though he knows who that is, so he still has those feelings. But he's like, okay, I'm going to wait till we grow up a little bit. I would say ninja life, you can date at younger ages and, have more intimate relationships at younger ages, but not 12 to 13. Wait till you're like 15, 16 or beyond in that range, and then it doesn't seem as creepy. Because again, old enough to kill, old enough to die, old enough to drink, old enough to other stuff. So yeah, don't worry about that. Was there anything else that got brought up? I'm just thinking real quick here. Oh, like what did Naruto know about Obito and all of his involvement? Actually, it's a good question. You'd think maybe after the fact he found out about that, but I don't know how much Naruto actually knew. Is actually a good question. Still, he knows a lot. It will aid him in the future. So we left off basically with the bell test about to happen. Now, obviously, Naruto remembers all of this. So unlike Sasuke and Sakura, he very much eats beforehand. That's another two other things that got brought. Now I remember. One, could he join fist bump Kurama for his memories? Maybe, but that's a sign of trust. And Kurama right now probably doesn't show that much trust in Naruto. He's curious about Naruto and is willing to give him a shot, but trust like that is a very different thing. Plus, the seal is still in place, so that really wouldn't do much. But beyond that, someone asked the question, isn't the key just made up of Minato's chakra or something like that? Couldn't he theoretically form it again in his own body with like something along those? I'm actually going to get that comment up real quick because that's a very unique comment. The short answer to the comment, come on, we're almost there. The internet here is a little jankier than at my place. No offense to you. Things are moving just a little slower is all. All right, so there you are. Okay, so where was that comment? Let's see here now. I'm gonna spend the majority of the. Okay. Actually, since the key is just a seal formula, the chakra that Minato left inside Naruto's seal would also be able to give him the key. That's not how that works. Yes, it's a seal formula. Technically, it is a key, but just because you have just because you have that person's chakra doesn't mean you know what that combination is. That is not how that works. And you also said you're not entirely sure about if Naruto knew about him controlling the fourth Mizukage. Even if he found out during the there's nothing he can do about it right now. There's just certain things Naruto can't figure out. Someone also asked does Naruto have Kurama's negative emotion sensing? No, he doesn't, because he doesn't have access to his full roster of abilities right now. Okay, now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's actually continue on with the story. Naruto eats his meal. He knows probably not to bug Kurama too much, but he's gonna try to keep talking to Kurama to, get to know him. Kurama, for what it's worth, is at least willing to have a conversation with Naruto now and then, because he is just curious about this kid. Like, he believes what Naruto says, to a certain degree, but he still can't believe that Naruto's gonna save the world and he's going to befriend him, and that Kurama's going to give his life to save Naruto. And Naruto just kind of like laughs that off. The day comes for the bell test, though. And they go there. Sasuke and Sakura, just tired. Naruto probably still tired, but he's probably not used to getting up early, so he's not that tired compared to how the others are. He's probably sitting there meditating. One of the big things is nature chakra that I think I brought up in the first one. We still should really address on if and how he's going to do it. I think one of the things he's been doing is meditating, trying to gain how to sense nature chakra again. Mind you, while he has all the experience under his belt, knowledge of how to do it, his body is still the body of his 12, 13-year-old self. It has not acclimated to doing that. So Naruto knows that, hey, I'm going to need to talk to Jiraiya about this. Because if I'm going to try to practice doing Sage Mode again, I need the safety of the toads there. So, because otherwise, if I do it wrong, my body just isn't capable of prepared to handle that right now. And my chakra control still isn't at its full capabilities yet. I could turn the stone frog and it's done. So I think Naruto holds off on that right now. Should note though that because chakra is a combination of physical energy, which is your training, actually working out all that stuff, and your spiritual energy, your experience, knowledge, and wisdom and all that. Naruto actually had, just coming back, actually had a lot better chakra control than what he already had, but he still had to work on it because he still had the body of his 12, 13-year-old self. So that question got brought up originally. Anyway, so we're 6 minutes in, I've barely gotten into this. So again, Kakashi, issues the test. Naruto knows all this, so he's not gonna act extremely out of character, but he's also not gonna be an idiot and charge into Kakashi like that, like he did initially. They disappear. Kakashi's like, oh, well, they've hidden well. As a matter of fact, I can't even find Naruto. Now, to be fair, he said they had hidden well. I think we all kind of assumed that he knew where at least some of them were, because I say that, but now I'm remembering the later points of the dialogue. We do know that he did say, oh, so that's where Sasuke was hiding. So I guess he didn't know where they were. He did say they hid well, and so that's props to Kakashi. But again, Naruto is just there. It's like, fight me one-on-one. You're a little different, even from what I've heard about you. And the only other thing here is your haircut. Naruto's kind of just having some fun here. He knows what has to be done to, pass the test, all that. Doesn't mean he can't have some fun along the way, get some payback for some for some stuff that Kakashi did to him back in the day. As such, Naruto comes in, he's like, 1,000 years of death. Naruto gets poked in the ass, but disappears in a puff song. Interested. Breakthrough! And Kakashi actually blocks. Wait, that's a wind technique. Since when did Naruto Gale Bomb? And then multiple clones come out and start attacking Kakashi with Gale Palm. Naruto's launching as a fist. He even shows off that he doesn't use the technique, but while Sasuke and Sakura are being distracted, and he's aware they're being distracted, he shows off that he flashes the Rasengan, to which Kakashi wide-eyes as like, what the, how the hell does he, gotcha, and Kakashi actually takes a legit hit. And Naruto comes in and just the clones, and now Kakashi's like, and just, the book's gone, like, boom, boom. And despite the fact Naruto has only the physicality of his younger self, he has all the combat experience of Naruto. So Naruto is not only able to keep up with Kakashi, he is fighting toe-to-toe and actually surpassing him in some ways. Now, if you were to ask me who I think in a hand-to-hand fight, straight taijutsu would win. Kakashi at his peak versus Naruto at his peak, with nothing else, I would still probably go with Kakashi. He just has way more combat experience. The only thing Naruto can do to get experience over Kakashi ultimately is use the Shadow Clones. But if we're just talking about how good they actually were in hand-to-hand combat, I would probably go with Kakashi. But that's a close match. Again, we're just talking taijutsu. Still though, the Naruto goes to squaring off. It's like, what the hell? When did Naruto learn all those techniques? How is he able to fight Kakashi this effectively? Kakashi actually is now throwing some jutsu out, like mud style, mud wall. The clones, Naruto actually breaks it with the Rasengan, and then actually shows off the tornado fist, which the third gave him a scroll for. It's like, I never learned this one. And Kakashi uses substitution. And it's like, when did it was never told, or Naruto never demonstrated any of this in school. When did he gain this much power? And how on earth did he learn that technique? It's like, yeah, To which all of a sudden he hears a, you let your guard down, Kakashi. It's like, huh? 1,000 years this? No, 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 no. Woo! And just gets out of the way. It's like, wind style. Oh! Gets blasted back. Meanwhile, Naruto finally catches up with both Sakura and Sasuke. It's like, wait, Naruto, wait, how are you? It's like, I have my clones fighting Kakashi right now to keep him distracted. Look, the whole idea of the test, it's about it, and he explains how, look, this test doesn't make any sense. There's only 2 bells. What he wants us to do, and we can't really get the bells on our own, which I think right now might be a little bold. Naruto probably could get a bell on his own at this point. But he's making the point because he's got to try to protect the timeline as best as possible while also trying to make some alterations to help the timeline. And that's not always going to come, he's not always going to be able to do that in a good way. He only has so much knowledge, and the choices he makes that he think might be good down the line aren't necessarily good. And trust me, I'm keeping that in mind. Right now, we're not at a point where anything in the timeline is going to drastically be impacted. But Naruto, says like, look, I won't be able to hold them off much longer. We have to work together. We only have so much time, and either we work together or we all just fail. Which one is it going to be, guys? And they're both like, they're both a little iffy on it, but Naruto's words make sense. Like Sakura admittedly is dubious. And Sasuke's dubious, but he agrees. Sakura is going to be a lot more pig-headed, and Naruto remembers, is like, my God, she really was that pig-headed, wasn't she? Or she really was that just up her own ass, wasn't she? It's like, well, look, sorry, and the clone pops. All right, meet me and Sakura at this location. And he pops out. It's like, well, Sasuke agreed to it. All right, then I'm going to agree to it. And so, as the clones are dissipating, the one remaining Naruto is standing there, just starting to huff a little bit. Like, he's still pretty much good to go. He's starting, and Kakashi's also huffing. Granted, he's not using his Sharingan, so he's doing a lot better on his chakra reserves. If he had that thing out, he'd be in a lot of trouble, because Naruto would just outlast him. He would just outlast him. But Kakashi's overall still good to go. He's like, starting to get a little tired there, Naruto. Are you sure you can keep going? It's like, are you sure you can take on all of us? You can make some shadow clones again. And it's like, fire style, fireball jutsu, fire style. And all of a sudden he gets fire style, fireball jutsu, great breakthrough, collaboration jutsu. Poof, and then they clash and their jutsu wins. Meanwhile, Kakashi's about to leave until he feels ninja wire wrapped around his feet. Sakura's got basically him tied around a tree, just like, it's like, and then all of a sudden Naruto and Sasuke are coming at him, and just and unfortunately he's got now his legs are tied up and his hands are freezing. The hands are occupied. Naruto also grabs. He's like, yeah, don't think you're gonna be able to get away that easy. And it's like, Kakashi's like. And they manage to grab the bell, and then the bell rings, and they let go. It's like, well, I gotta say, I'm impressed. You guys were actually able to figure things out. So I guess the question is, which one of you is now going to be staying behind? To which Naruto quickly responds, none of us. We know just as much as you know that wasn't the point of the exam. The point was for us to work together as a team. And then to Kakashi, just like, that's true. True, but, and then Naruto's like, there's still one other thing that you need to know. Naruto now just trying to remember what he's talking about. And for you to learn that technique, you guys are going to have lunch. But Naruto, seeing as you're such a tough guy, you're not going to have lunch. You're going to be tied to that post. And now Naruto remembers that, and Naruto gets tied. Like, oh, you son of a that wily old scarecrow. And so they're eating lunch, and Naruto's like, look. It's like, and Naruto convinces them basically to give them some food. And, to be fair, I think Naruto's stomach is probably rumbling at this point anyway. He ate breakfast, but they worked up an appetite. And so we need to work as a team. Naruto's hungry. That makes him more ineffective and hurts the team. And, gives them the food. And just, you broke the rules. And, the three of us are one. That's the excuse. You passed. Yep, you passed. Those who abandon their friends, those who break the rules are scum. That's true, but those who abandon their friends in Naruto are worse than scum. And Kakashi again, kind of quirks an eyebrows, like, that's right. And then so Naruto gets loose, and they all head home. But as they're walking away, Naruto catches up with Kakashi. Hey, Kakashi Sensei, can we talk? Yes, actually, Naruto, I'd like to talk to you too. You're a lot stronger than your applications or your aptitude tests. No, what would be your grades? Sorry, your grades implied. In fact, you know a lot more jutsu. Were you just holding back in class, or is this a new thing? It's kind of a new, just a recent thing. Which that begs the next question: how do you know the Rasengan? There's only 3 people living today that know the. Am I right on that? Kakashi knows it. Jiraiya knows it. I don't think the third knows it, but in theory, he should be able to learn it. You know, it's only 2. There's only 2 people currently alive who know that technique. Yeah, you and that's right. Yeah, oh, that's right. You do know the technique, don't you, Kakashi Sensei? I always forget about that. You always use the Chidori. And now Kakashi's like, how does he know about that? Naruto, you know a lot more than you let on, Naruto. What is this about? And you can tell where it's leading up. Kakashi's the other person right now that Naruto thinks should know the truth of what's happened. We should probably go to the third for this. And they go to the third. And once again, the third's got a bottle of sake out. Kakashi's even joining him. And Naruto's like, still trying to get a look at his face, but every time he goes, something happens. How the hell does he keep doing that? And Kakashi is heard, and now hears everything. He's heard that Naruto's got his memory. He's from the future, about him becoming the 7th, about him, about the 4th Great Shinobi War, the Akatsuki. Obito is alive, and he is a member of the Akatsuki. And that, excuse me, and that, yeah, he's the one who was responsible for the Nine Tails attack and the loss of, the 4th and his dad and his mom. And Kakashi's just kind of taking this in, like, oh god. It's like, I need it, and he just takes another drink. And again, Naruto just can't seem to see that face. Why? But, he's like, so how are we going to do this now? Well, Naruto thinks right now we should try to prepare as best we can. We can only do so much without altering the timeline and creating a different branch. And Naruto is like, look, Kakashi, I'm not saying we need to do everything as we did back in the day, but I'm also not saying we need to change everything either. I'm still trying to figure this out too. Every change I make is going to affect things down the road in a different way. I'm just hoping I can keep the things that we all ended up attaining without destroying what we ultimately got. Good point. To which, so I guess I should be up in the training then, shouldn't I? So yeah, probably. I'd probably start with I'd probably start with the chakra exercises along with the teamwork. Maybe even go into elemental release training, pretty early. So wait, Naruto, do you know what our next mission will be? And Naruto actually had to stop and think on that. Like, he knows the Zabuza Haku thing's going to come up. And so I think he's like, I do know about our first C rank mission, and it's not going to go, it's not a standard C rank. It's going to, a C rank that morphed into an A rank. I see. I guess I should be getting back into shape too. Now, we also know that Kakashi does, in fact, have the Mangekyo at this point. He just can't activate it because the amount of chakra he has, he just does not have the chakra to use it properly. Which, by the way, because chakra is a combination of physical, your actual working out, and, reusing your body and chakra, and spiritual, all that, every time a ninja goes out into combat, gets experience, all that, it actually helps with the chakra control when you think about it. He has it, but he doesn't have the chakra for it. And Naruto does know this. I think probably Kakashi at some point told him the history of that. So he says, I'd probably start working on getting your chakra reserves back up and working on the hand seals. We're going to need it for the wave mission coming up. The wave mission, and I see. And so they get down into training, and we get all the C and D ranks. The D ranks. I think that was the lowest one, right? It's S, A, B, C, and D. Yeah, it's 5 different mission ranks. I don't even think there's E ranks. I think D is the lowest. The D ranks they're doing. Naruto does lament at one point to Kakashi, I forgot how freaking boring these were. And Kakashi does have to laugh. But at the same time, he's also more serious on their training by a large margin. They besides teamwork, like actual combat training and teamwork, he also has them doing the chakra control exercises early on. So they get the tree walking exercises. I don't think they said how long they had been getting by the time they got to the wave. I'm sure. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find that Naruto timeline. Let's try that. Naruto timeline. Timeline. All right. Let's see here now. Can I find out? Nope. I want how to watch, not watch in order. Okay, this might be it. Epic dope. Can you give me events in chronological order here, like a date and time? Okay, 16 years. Dachi operates. No, it's just giving me like the big era points, like that. So I'm just trying. I know it was at least like a month minimum. It might even have been like 6 months. I can't remember, or not. No, that wasn't. That was every single story arc in chronological order. I don't want. Oh wait, Naruto defeats God. Okay. Maybe this. Let's see here now. Training. Jeez. Minato's. Okay. Oh, we might have something here. Hold on. Because this is the part I always kind of mess up on, is how the time frame in choosing. Come on, where are we? Way into or past. Okay, replace the Heaven Curse, Marxial and Sasuke. All right, now let's move back a little bit. Team Kakashi's formed June 12th. Team scored. That's a load of shit. There is no Team Kakashi is formed on June 12th. You're telling me June 13th, Team Kakashi escorts Tazna and Elena Lance. Is this no, that is not how that played out at all. Whoever made this is a load of that's not how that works. Anyway, I know it took a little, it was like a couple weeks easy. Anyway, so in that time, they get down their teamwork down. But they get their chakra control down too, especially Sasuke and Sakura getting their chakra control up. They also they're probably working a bit more on their taijutsu. Naruto, Sasuke particularly, I think, wants to really go up against Naruto after seeing how he went up against Kakashi in there. And lo and behold, Naruto straight up beats Sasuke. I mean, Sasuke is still very effective. For beginning, Sasuke was extremely skilled, but he is still he's still greenhorn compared to Naruto at this point. But Naruto isn't using clones either. But still, he's just boom, boom, and he just beats Sasuke down. And Sasuke is pissed about this, because Naruto was never this skilled in the academy. It's like, how'd you get this quick? Naruto, but Naruto's ability is I actually figured out that, and he explains how he actually passed. Like, yeah, so you know the whole Mizuki thing? I kind of stole the scroll, and I learned the shadow clone technique. It's like, that's right, those are well, the shadow clone technique actually has an extra ability. Any experience a clone learns gets passed back down to the opponent or the user. So I just used that. So I did a lot of training with myself to really up my taijutsu. And by the way, Shadow Clone, another great way to actually get your chakra control up when you think about it. Not just with the training, but just in general. Because again, experience, spiritual energy versus nature energy, or versus physical energy. So, Naruto says that, and it's a believable excuse. And but hey, look, Sasuke, you're still tough as nails. And Sasuke, you better believe I'm not gonna. You better believe. And he steals Naruto's line. You better believe it. I'm going to beat you, Naruto. And so a lot of the physical training, even Sakura gets to play a part in that. Naruto kind of insists that Sakura brush up her taijutsu skills a bit. And Sakura's also just astounded by Naruto's growth. Like, he's not anywhere near as loud or brash. In fact, he's actually making really smart decisions and suggestions. Like, who is this Naruto? at near the end, before Tazna happens, we have, I think Kakashi's like, all right, well, we're before the end day, we're gonna start on, we're gonna prepare you for the next step of your training. Normally, we don't teach Genin this, but given the fact that you guys are so strong, I think it might be a good idea to help push you towards this a bit. And so he gives them chakra paper, and so we have Sasuke, who's Crinkles, although he has Fire Style. His main affinity actually is Lightning. And then we have Sakura, who turns to Dust because she has Earth and Water. I don't know which one's her affinity, but she has Earth and Water release. And they ask, well, why does Naruto get one? Naruto already has an elemental style with Wind. And I'm trying to go for more though. And Naruto's or Sakura looks at Sakura. Sasuke looks at Naruto like, no, really? Well, don't think I'm gonna fall. And I already have fire down. If lightning's my style, so then I'm just gonna have to learn that quicker. We'll do it after the next mission. And so the next mission comes, and it's their first C rank mission. Naruto still plays the part, and persuades them to get the C rank mission. So the third's also playing the part as well. So is Kakashi. They know they have to play a certain level of the part to keep the timeline in check. So Tazuna comes in, insults them a bit. Naruto doesn't sweat it. And so they get prepared to go on to the Land of Wade mission, the Zabuza mission. And Naruto regales Kakashi about what ultimately happened on this mission. And so how is this going to change in the future? Now, Kakashi knows ultimately what happens. We'll find out next time on part 3 of What If Naruto Has Memories and Went Back in Time, or vice versa, depending on how I structured the title. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks